Okay. So here we have the workshop now, and we'll define our RAG function. So we are going to print our prompt here, return from the answer. And this is the prompt. We say that whatever prompt was created, let's return that. And we are going to say define RAG function. And again, you'll have to redo the step 10 we were using this, and we are going to print the prompt also here. So here we can see the prompt which got replied here, that answer the question based on the following context. And we can see that the context got updated here. Awesome. So everybody probably now can see the RAG system now, that the context also. Does that answer your question? Okay. So now we have another RAG use also, where we want to print the context here, and we can see the context with the when we are looking for the k equal to 3. Let's go back and build our evals now. So evals are very important to say that, how do we measure that the answers we are getting actually are relevant, and how we are retrieving the documents are relevant or not. So for this one, we are going to measure, which Ashim also talked about, that there are a number of ways we can measure that the relevancy is correct or not. So first step for the evals is that we are going to build our test cases. How many vacation days are there? How many? So these are different queries here, and we have different keywords here. So keywords are that our test cases. So first step is we are defining our test cases, and I'm defining that there are 3 test cases we are defining with the query, and I expect these keywords in my relevant documents. So that's the test case we are building, and just simple printfs that the test cases got defined. We have not yet done the measurement. We are not sharing this code. Probably we'll share this exercise. You can do it yourself also later on, because we want to share that how actually the evals work right now.
So one
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
So when you talk about these test cases, are we manually hard coding those static test cases? Is that what we're doing?
Yes. So in the real world production world also, when you will be doing, unit test or the eval test, that's how you're going to measure, because
So,
the model is
sorry,
going to, yeah.
Rina,
Uh,
sorry to interrupt you. Just wanted to add that yes, Rina is right. We are hard coding these test cases over here, but actually, what you can do if you have large knowledge bases, there are functions that allow you to create like golden test sets based on knowledge graphs and stuff. You can call those functions to create it. They're very compute intensive, so just creating even 5 questions out of it with their context, ground truth, and all, it takes a lot of time. So if it's not required, then typically you don't want to do it. If you can just manage with this, or if you have customer questions, real customer questions, you can just use those. But if you have to generate artificial golden data sets like this, then there is a way to do it in an automated manner.
yeah, there is a way to do it, but like you want to make sure that whatever you are retrieving, that matches with the results. So if somebody is going to say that whatever is your question, how many vacation days, or so you want to make sure that from your document the correct answer is coming. It is not hallucinating with vacation with the 3 days and the remote work policy with 15 days. So that's how you are going to say that from your document, whatever is the correct information, that's how you are going to make your test cases, whether you generate them using some tool, or whether you generate them manually.
But synthetic, I mean, on synthetic data, it is not going to help, right? Because what we truly want to measure with evals is how is the quality of the results for all the use cases we are supporting, and how
Yes.
that does not deteriorate over time.
Yes, so it will depend how you're testing, because if you want to give a synthetic document to your RAG system also, that this is the document and these are the test cases, that could be one test. But if you want to measure your test based on your production document, you will have to have the real data also.
Okay.
Yeah, it
So,
could be a feedback loop. Just to add to what Rina said, it could be a feedback loop. Like if you have it running in production, you definitely have more questions coming in, and you just like feed it back and to your monitoring cycle and see what are the whether there is any drift from the previous scores, right? And if you detect a drift from the previous scores and it's degrading, then you might want to investigate what is causing that.
Yeah.
awesome. So this is the step where we just created our data test sets out here. And the next step is that we are going to do a loop and then do a similarity search with different number of Ks with our, these questions. So here, again, we are just doing a similarity search here with these keywords and the queries, and we want to see how many documents are going to be relevant or not. So here with K equal to 5, that's what we are, going to experiment. So we are going to now generate the test results we have not yet compared. So next step is that generate the, like I got the similarity document in this step. Now we are going to generate the results. And how we generate the results, let's see how the reciprocal rank is going to work. So we talked about the reciprocal rank is that at what rank we get the relevant documents. So meaning if we got the first document which was relevant, that means we got 1 by 1, that is the our best result. But if your result was found at the say fourth rank, that means it is not a good result and your rank is going to be 1 by 4. We are saying that's a 0 rank. So let's see how our retrieval results got created. It said calculated the result, which is we are going to print that in a table format so that we can see that how actually our results look like. So we generated the results. Now we want to just print them in a good table format. So we had 3 questions: how many vacation days, health insurance, and also we got 1 by 1 because our first document was actually relevant. So that's how we say that reciprocal rank, meaning if your first document is relevant, that means your reciprocal rank is 1 and your results are good. Had there been a question where it didn't find any document, it probably would have been a 0. Now we talked about, like Ashima talked about, I think 4 types of, how we measure the metrics. We are not going to experiment with all. So we are going to experiment with 2. One, we talked about the reciprocal rank. Another, we talked about precision at K. So let's see how that works.
So Reena, can you paste that step 13 and 14 on the chat?
Let's try to paste it. Actually, I think this code is a bit longer. So let's try if that can be pasted. Otherwise, we'll share this exercise with you offline and you can do that.
Okay.
Ashima, do you want to try pasting the steps here?
Yeah, I pasted 13 and I'm now
Okay.
pasting 14.
Awesome, thank you. So now with precision at K, precision at K is like, again, very important result that how many documents were relevant. That's what precision at K will mean, that if you're fetching your relevant document like K equal to 1, and if first document, all the documents are relevant, that again, your precision at K will be 1. But if you fetch 3 documents, only 2 are relevant, then your precision at K will be like 2 by 3. So let's see how the table looks like. That way it will be more clear. So we generated the results and let's make the table now for the readability. So now here we can see that we were, 1 second, sorry. I pasted again another one. One second, let me get the code here and print everything. Are we able to paste all the code there, Ash?
I put in 15, kind of broke it up into two. So you guys have to be careful. Like 15, the last one that I just pasted has to be part of step 15. So you have to kind of paste that in the same cell.
Yeah, because these code mainly they are longer because we wanted to show in a better table format. Otherwise, generating the precision calculation is simpler. But since we want it to be in a good table format, it took a bigger code. So here when we say that I want only one document, we are calculating precision at one. That means one by one, and we want to say that our first element we fetched only one document and that was relevant. So that means one by one was our precision at one. But if we were fetching three documents, we can see that for how many vacation days, all the three documents were relevant. Here, again, all the three documents were relevant. So precision is one, but here only two documents were relevant. That means the third document did not have the answers which we were looking for in the relevant document, and that makes the precision to be 0.6. And precision at 5, again, we want 5 document, all the 5 document have the relevancy information. So these metrics are very important because that's how you are going to calculate that how the hallucinations work, or are your answer going to be more relevant or not. And then we did talk about the mean and other metrics. We are not going to share everything, but this is how your evals are also important, because just generating the answer responses is not enough. You want to make sure that they are actually good quality. So evals are going to be important to experiment with different models, with different questions or different keywords. And so yeah, that actually concludes our exercise 1. And I'm going to give it back to Ashima to share some of the use cases and the next advancement workshop. Back to you, Ashima.
Thanks, Reena. Okay, so this was our basic RAG workshop. But in the advanced RAG workshop that we'll be running, we'll be going over some advanced techniques on query understanding and parsing, because there's another layer. When the user sends a query, you can actually work on it a little bit more, because if you misinterpret a user's question, no retrieval method is going to give you a good answer. So this includes, intent detection, query rewriting, handling ambiguous or multi-part queries. Then we'll explore advanced retrieval strategies like multi-query retrieval, hybrid search, multi-index, multi-source systems. This helps ensure we don't miss relevant information, especially when the data is sparse or spread across different sources. We're also going to talk about like re-ranking and re-ranking techniques like that improve relevance after retrieval. So even with strong retrieval, not all the results are relevant, like we saw in that example. We had only 2 relevant results out of 4. So re-ranking ensures the most accurate and contextually appropriate content reaches the model. Then we are going to introduce agentic RAG patterns, where the system can dynamically figure out when or how to retrieve more information. I saw that there was a question in the chat. Does the LLM go and uh, give some other answer if it's not able to find it in the RAG system? So agentic AI, basically an agent makes a choice whether they want to use the RAG system to answer, or whether they want to do a Tabili search in the web search to answer the question. This is kind of critical for complex multi-step reasoning and reduces errors from incomplete context. Finally, we'll cover evaluation using RAGAS. So what we covered in evals today was the bare minimum. RAGAS library allows us to measure relevance, faithfulness, answer quality, things like that. And so without proper evaluation, we can't systematically improve our RAG system. And most RAG systems need fine-tuning. So together, these topics will give you the tools to build RAG systems that are smarter and more reliable. Advanced RAG is not just about better embeddings, it's about intelligent query handling, adaptive retrieval, robust ranking, agent-driven reasoning, and continuous evaluation. To wrap things up, let's summarize why retrieval augmented generation works so well in practice. RAG improves accuracy and trust by grounding the model in real world data, real documents. And it doesn't just rely on memory. Every answer can be traced back to a source. This is really important because you can you can actually cite the result, the source of that result. So it makes the system auditable and verifiable. So that's the really important part of it. It's also cost effective because you're not, doing any model retraining or fine tuning. Well, you do some fine tuning for, for getting better evals, and you update knowledge by updating the documents. RAG systems are always current. You can eliminate knowledge cutoff issues because the model pulls from the latest data at query time. And most importantly, RAG works with your data. It enables AI systems to reason over private, proprietary, domain specific information that the base model may not have ever seen. The RAG delivers accurate, up to date, verifiable answers from your knowledge base, which at a fraction of the cost and complexity of fine tuning. For some real world use cases, we talked about this when we started the workshop. But just to get into the various domains, business and customer support, RAG powers support bots that are grounded in product documentation and policies. You have internal chatbots, QA systems, and training, onboarding assistants that kind of reflect that. In development and technical workflows, RAGs is used for code documentation, project specific code generation. It follows your team patterns, context aware debugging, things like that. And it becomes especially powerful in specialized domains like healthcare and legal, where there's a lot of regulatory data, there's a lot of private data, and even in search and research, it enhances the search by adding reasoning and synthesis on top of retrieved sources, while it still preserves the citations and all. Finally, on a more personal level, RAG acts as your personal productivity assistant, helping with notes, emails, meetings, things like that over your own documents. The RAG works anywhere with, it provides accuracy, freshness, and source transparency. Wherever that matters, you can deploy a RAG, whether that's at enterprise scale or for individual productivity. And so Gina has actually tailored another exercise for you, which is kind of a do-it-yourself, where you can upload your own documents. I know there was a question talking about how do we upload PDFs or Word or text documents, not just like this array that we had over there. And so this
Can we take
do-it-yourself
question
exercise.
answers? Sorry, Ashima. I was just thinking,
Mhm.
can we take question answer at this point? Because there are quite a few questions that are there.
Let me go back to that in the chat while Rina shares the
Okay.
do-it-yourself. How about that? Right?
Okay. So can you use Postgres with PG vector?
Yes, you can. I know I've tried this with Supabase. It has a vector thing and it has Postgres data in it. So it does have an HNSW, like the hierarchical small navigable world index that's built in it. Yeah.
Okay. Someone asked, can you do partial chunking? Like, say I want to update my document. Do I have to do the entire 3 things, or is it possible to just somehow take the divs and do the chunking of those and like
I
embedding and
don't. Oh, you mean when the document gets updated?
yeah, when the document gets changed, yeah. It has to go through the entire thing again, or can it just do partial?
That's a good question. I have not personally tried that. I have tried whether adding more documents to it. And in that case, you can either reindex the whole thing or append more embeddings to it. Probably you can do partial chunking, but honestly, I have not tried what are the pros and cons around it. So
Yeah, I think
that's
most people do the, chunking of the new document because doing a partial chunking, you will lose the context. It will be hard to tell that this chunk is related to that document because
okay.
in the vector database, we have already, chunked and embedded. So giving a partial chunk will be hard. That's why the metadata we talked about is important, the date or the author. Sometimes when we are fetching the information based on, say, author, that these are the feature crew and I want to use this design document versus any other design document done by not the feature crew. So metadata plus a new chunking completing document will be better rather than half chunk.
Okay. There was another question, how do you handle tables, PDS formatting, documents, and chunking?
Yeah, so that's one thing that Dina was going to go over in the do it yourself.
Okay.
She'll show you
All
the
right.
PDF, how to upload it. There
Okay.
is a document loader class that allows you to load the documents. Spreadsheets are typically problematic.
Okay.
I've gotten kind of stuck on that one, so I haven't found a way to resolve Excel spreadsheets uploading, to be frank.
Right. So I'm going to share my
I
screen
think there's
now.
one question that I think already answered.
Mhm.
There's one more. What's the fastest way to identify where the problem is? Chunking issue, embedding issue, retrieval issue,
Yeah,
or ping
that is
issue,
a
or a
very, very
mix?
good question. That's a very good question. There's no short answer to that one. So, yeah, I think it's like mm, kind of,
So if I take that answer,
yeah.
so one is that how do you find the gaps? One is the model. So every time a new model comes and your company want to upgrade to a newer model, you have to run the evals just to find out that whether the eval, because everything else is same, but how now the responses are coming. So you want to compare now the three relevant documents are good enough or not. And then you have to find the chunking. That's why the eval metrics, that is the chunking a problem, or embedding will be hard to find a problem, because that's where you need to say that which model you are using. But evals is the only way for us to find out that my response is relevant or not. So there is you know
Yeah, there was one question. RAG works in conjunction with LLMs. Does LLM not learn that data what RAG supplies? No, no.
So, LLM, usually most people who have this, and you can, Reena, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but most companies who basically have used proprietary stuff and they use RAG for augmentation, they have a zero retention policy with the model
Mhm.
owners, right? So they don't want the model owners to use the data they're putting in the RAG
yes, that
for training. So that's why, yeah, so that's why it doesn't learn from what RAG supplies.
yes, it is not going. So that will depend, again, when you are, buying that system from the company, it will be that what are your servers? Are those private servers? That means your data will not be used, because now every company is using for coding also the production code. And if it is, available to everyone, that will be a problem. So they want to make sure that those are your private servers, and within Microsoft or within Google, or like, so it is not available to all the world. But when I ask from my LLM the generic question, those will be available for training also, because that's not the model I'm using. So it will depend that how you're using that model. Which model are you using?
Okay, yeah, I think that's all the questions I had. So
I
yeah,
also
you can
wanted
take away.
to, sorry,
Go ahead,
Sanghu,
yeah.
to interrupt you. I also wanted to add to a question that had come in the middle about whether this is like hard coded data. And I wanted to say that there are usually two kinds of ways to do this, like evals for the test data. It can be human generated, like this hard coded data, or it can be automated. And even the evals, you can be, when you look at the answers and score them, you can either use humans to like score it, or you can use LLM as a judge. But every time you use LLM as a judge, which is what is used in most evals, you have a probability of going wrong, right? So that's why human
Yeah,
in the loop
Rina,
is
all
important.
yours. I've posted a chat for everyone, so uh, feel free to give us feedback and also your interest in the advanced GRAG workshop. What Rina is doing right now, I think they're going to share a GitHub, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll just share the step here. So
Okay.
first two step are on, similar what we had done earlier. But here, when you try this workshop, you will have the choose file option, where it will give you the option that you can select your documents and you can try. And the next steps are, curated depending on the questions I wanted to ask from my document, but again, you can experiment and try it. And towards the end, actually, you will see a small chatbot kind of a system, that it is going to be like a in loop, that you continue asking in that input box and it will answer. So it will be your small chat box system. So we are going to share this code with you and you can try it offline. And if you're stuck, feel free to give us a ping. Up to you, Sangu.
All right. No, I think I'll open up the floor for anyone if anyone else has any option, any other question. We have 3 more minutes before we wrap up. So please unmute and ask anything. Anything that was asked in the chat, I've already asked. And if I miss anyone, please feel free to unmute and ask any questions you have. And we will really appreciate if you fill up that feedback form for us. It really helps us in improving and planning our future workshops. If people can
One
turn their
question,
camera on
Sangeeta, can
now.
I know where is that exercise one? I cannot.
Exercise 1 is not yet shared. We'll share with you guys offline.
Okay.
Only the new exercise where you can upload the document, that's one we have shared so far.
Oh, actually, I need
Do
to
you have a
send.
GitHub link that we can just share on the chat?
Yeah, we'll
Or
upload it and share it.
okay, sure, okay. I'll send out an email thanking you all to join, and then in that I'll probably have the details of this as well.
Dina,
And also,
Sangu, one more, just one more second. I wanted to just share the link of the do it yourself document.
okay,
Do it
sure,
yourself
yeah,
exercise. Yeah,
that
yeah.
would be great. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
So it's in the chat, guys. You can pick it up from there. That's the do it yourself code over there. So you can pick it up from there.
Okay, thank you. So, and one more thing, I think I missed where exactly was that document uploaded for that.
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
Ashima, I just shared that collab. So if you go in there, there is an
No, it's not in that one. This is the second collab, the last one. But you want the document list that we had for the first exercise, right, Anita? That's what you're asking?
No. I'm asking like I believe this exercise is to upload our own files and do a testing, right? So where do we go and upload it?
The third one. So first two are first one is installing the package, second one is importing the libraries, and third one is going to be upload the document.
Oh, when I
Once
run
you-
it, will it ask
when you run it,
yes.
it'll ask you, yes.
So
But then
when
whatever you
this-
upload, you have to change your questions based on what you're uploading, right? Because
Yes.
this collab is based on, what Rina was showing her document that she has picked. So if you have to make sure that what you're uploading, what question are relevant to ask from there, right?
Okay, yeah.
Right. So like curate your question based on your document. So go to each step one by one and then run it rather than just run off. Yeah, that's all.
All right. No, thank you so much, Ashima and Rina. This was great. I hope everyone enjoyed it and had a good learning. I am very thrilled. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks. Bye. Please feel free to give us feedback. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.